Hey guys, you're tuned in once again to YouTube and the Pharaoh's Vessel. Today I'm bringing you video number 2, which is my legendary fisherman deck. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into this video, and once again, like I say on the start of all my videos or on the end, whatever, if you just click down a little bit, click on like and subscribe, anything that comes up in the future, then you'll be able to see, get future content and stuff. So excuse me, without further ado, here we go into legendary fisherman. So yeah, legendary fisherman deck, guys. Starting off with the monsters. First up we have 3 copies of the legendary fisherman 3. It's a great little card. It cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from the hand by attributing 1 legendary fisherman. When this card is special summoned, you can banish all monsters your opponent controls. Also, this card cannot attack this turn. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, unaffected by spell trap effects. Once per turn, you can return as many of your opponent's banished monsters as possible to their graveyard. And if you do, the first battle or effect damage your opponent takes becomes doubled. So it's got a nice little effect as well where it can't be destroyed. Next up I run 2 copies of the legendary fisherman 2. This card's name is treated as legendary fisherman when it's on the field or in the graveyard. While Umi is on the field, this card is unaffected by your opponent's monsters effects. If this face-up card is destroyed by battle, or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can add 1 level 7 water monster from your deck to your hand. And we also have 3 copies of the legendary fisherman. While Umi is on the field, this card is unaffected by spell effects and cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. So basically they can attack you directly. I got 1 copy of Poseidra, the Atlantean dragon. You can contribute 3 level 3 or lower water monsters to special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. When you do, return all spell and trap cards on the field to the hand. And if you do, if 3 or more cards are returned to the hand by this effect, all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack each. I've got 1 Citadel Whale. Basically, this card is in your hand or graveyard. You can contribute 2 water monsters to special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Citadel Whale once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can set 1 sea stealth attack directly from the deck. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets 1 water monster you control and no other cards, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. I run 2 copies of Warrior of Atlantis. To do that, basically his effect states that you can discard this card to the graveyard and add 1 legendary ocean from your deck to the hand. So there's the best way to get out your Umi or your legendary ocean. I've got 3 copies of Reese, the Ice Mistress. She's your tuner for the deck. 2 stars as well. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a level 4 or higher monster. I run 2 copies of the legendary Atlantean Trident, which states that you contribute this card and add 1 sea serpent type monster. Sorry, you contribute this card and 1 sea serpent type monster and special summon 1 Poseidra the Atlantean dragon from your hand or deck. Then all monsters your opponent controls lose 300 attack. I've got 2 Cure Mermaids. As long as the card remains face up on your side of the field, increase your life points by 800 points during each of your standby phases. I have 1 Mermaid Knight. As long as Umi remains face up on the field, this card attacks twice during the same battle. I've got one Mermail Abyssneri. It's got a quick effect that states you can discard this card, then target one water monster you control, destroy one other water monster in your hand or field, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack defense equal to the destroyed monster's original attack defense until the end of this turn. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can draw one card, then discard one card. You can only use the effect once per turn. And then just to bulk it out slightly, I've got one Metabo Shark, which states that when this card is normal summoned, you can select and return 2 fish monsters from the graveyard to the deck. I got 2 copies of Great White and a Penguin Soldier. Obviously, the Penguin Soldier allows you to return up to 2 monsters from the field to the owner's hands. So that's the monsters, guys. That's what the deck is currently consisting of. So next I'm going to do the extra deck. So guys, carrying on, we have the extra deck. My extra deck consists of 5 monsters. I have a white aura whale. To bring him out, you require 1 water tuna and 1 non-water tuna monster. When this card is synchro summoned, you can destroy all your opponent's attack position monsters. This card makes up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. If this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you could banish one other water monster from your graveyard to special summon this card, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner. I have 1 copy of the White Aura Dolphin. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its original attack until the end of the turn. If this card you control is destroyed by opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 water monster from your graveyard, special summon this card, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. I have 1 copy of the Sea Monster of Theseus, which requires 2 tuners to bring it out. This is why you see now I've got 3 in there at least. I've got 1 copy of the Bahamut Shark, which requires 2 level 4 water monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, special summon 1 rank 3 or lower water monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack for the rest of this turn. So basically, the effect doesn't really do much, but it's a nice little beta to have out there. And obviously, to finish the extra deck off, I carry the number 37 Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark, which requires 2 level 4 water monsters to bring it out. And when any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 XYZ from this card. All monsters your opponent currently control lose 1000 attack until the end of the turn. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effects in the graveyard, you can target 1 other monster in the graveyard and special summon it. You can only use each effect of number 37 Hope Woven Dragon Spider once per turn. So that's your extra deck there, guys. Nice and easy. Simple, straightforward 5 cards. Coming up next, we have the spells. So guys, for your spells, you're going to run 2 copies of a Legendary Ocean, which is treated as Umi while it's on the field. All water monsters on the field gain 200 attack defense. Reduce the level of all water monsters in both players' hands and on the field by 1. So it works well because it makes your level 5 Legendary Fisherman a level 4. So you can bring it out as a straight summon. Obviously it drops the cost down of number 3. Citadel Will becomes less. Your tuners become less. So your synchros as well, they all become less. So it all works out even better for you anyway. Run 1 copy of Terraforming, just in case you can't get your Warrior of Atlantis out to get your Legendary Oceans on the field. There's 3 copies of Rage of Kaiushin. If Umi's on the field, target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of water monsters you control whose original level of 5 or higher and destroy them. And if you do, the zones in which they were in can't be activated until the next turn. You can only activate one Rage of Kaiushin per turn. I like to run 2 copies of Aquarium Stage, which basically states that water monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, and non-water monster Aqua Actress monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one Aqua type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Aqua type monsters. I like to run 2 MSTs. Can be quite handy. There's 1 Swords of Revealing Light. I have 1 copy of Fisher. 1 Black Pendant. I like to run 2 different types. So I've got the Ultra Polymerization in here, which allows you to pay 2,000 life points to fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck, using 2 monsters you control as fusion materials. And I've also got the Fusion Substitute as well, which is basically the same as Polymerization. It's treated as Polymerization, where you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials. And to finish off the spells, 1 Pot of Benevolence. So that's the spells right there, guys. That's what I run. That's what I like to use. It'll probably get played with at some point to boost it somehow. I'll give it a little bit of extra. But then again, the deck seems to work well as it is anyway, so I might just leave it as it is. But yep, that's the spells. Moving on now, we'll have the traps. So guys, yeah, this is the trap cards now for the deck. I like to run 3 copies of Torrential Tribute. Like I said, it can be a bit of a nightmare. You destroy all monsters on the field, but if you've got monsters whose effect states that they can't be destroyed by effects, then you should be laughing. I like to run 2 copies of Mirror Force and 2 copies of Raigeki Break. I like to run 2 copies of the Sea Stealth Attack, 1 Trap Hole, there's 1 7 Tools of the Bandit, 1 Tornado Wall, 1 Magic Jammer, 1 Sakuretsu Armor, and 1 Fuse Line, just to polish it off. So that's the traps in the deck, guys. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Like I said, click down below and hit that like and subscribe button for more videos and stuff when they pop up. But this has been brought to you by the Pharaoh's Vessel, and this was my legendary fisherman deck. Hope to catch you all again soon. Ciao for now.